Welcome to the institutional presentation of International Commission on Irrigation and Drainage. This is a unique institution working worldwide for the agricultural water management. As we all know, the water plays a very crucial role in all biological systems, and especially it is very much essential that the timely and sufficient delivery of water is made to the crops in order to provide the agricultural sustainability as well as food security to the world. So for this area, the institution is working very hard towards ensuring the poverty and rural livelihood alleviation. What is the ICID? ICID is a leading scientific, technical and not-for-profit organization which was established in 1950 at the initiative of a global community of nations. The network of the professionals, which was established in 1950, has spread over a large number of countries, almost 100 countries, and it has facilitated sharing of experiences and transfer of water management technologies over the last now 7 decades. It is dedicated to the worldwide supply of food and fiber for all people and believes that food security at various levels, global, national, local and household, and provision of assured livelihood starts with stable agricultural production. Encourages the public-private partnership in development and management of water resources. As you can see, it was established on 24th June 1950 at the initiative of Government of India, but with a collaboration and cooperation from 11 leading countries at that point of time in the areas of irrigation and water management. Those 11 countries were spread over all the continents of the world, and those countries provided a core which later on grew to almost 112 countries as the membership. ICID has adopted a vision and mission as a water secure world free of poverty and hunger through sustainable rural development. ICID has also set itself an Agenda 2030 towards this vision, and the goals that have been set up are to enable higher crop productivity with less water and energy, because the water is a scarce commodity and energy is also an important input which has to be optimized. It strives to be a catalyst for change in policies and practices so that the higher crop productivity and better equitability is established. It facilitates the exchange of information, knowledge and technology. It enables cross-disciplinary and intersectoral engagement, encourages research and support development of tools to extend the innovation into field practices. And most importantly, it facilitates the capacity development. Capacity development across the world is a very important topic, especially in the food security and agriculture water management areas, because not all countries are at the same level, and many countries are in need of many technologies, many solutions, whereas the developed countries are already having those solutions, and how to translate them to different socio-economic environments is achieved through the capacity building activities. The roadmap to ICID vision was created in 2017, and this roadmap details how these various goals that have been set for ourselves are going to be achieved. So once you become a part of ICID, you are a part of a network of professionals who are striving towards the ensuring a water secure world free of poverty and hunger. Importance of irrigation has been realized since time immemorial. Even in the old era, even in the prehistoric era, the importance of agriculture and irrigation was realized, and it was realized that we cannot depend upon the rains alone. The Egyptians realized it, the Indians realized it, various other civilizations realized it at that point of time itself. At this point of time, ICID membership network is spreading across the country. We have nearly 95% of the irrigated area of the world, which is through their country memberships is a part of the ICID network, and almost all of these countries take up and provide inputs across the world in various events organized by ICID as well as various other technical activities that are carried out by ICID. ICID primarily forms the network of national committees. A country is represented in ICID through its national committee. The national committee is a national level network of professionals in which the professionals which are working in the agriculture, water management or associated fields from say research institutes or extension services or universities, etc., the state water resources departments or state irrigation agencies who are also working towards the agriculture water management, providing the irrigation water, become part of the national committee. Various governmental structures like the environment ministries, water resources ministries, ministries involved with the agriculture, ministries involved with the rural development, they all also have opportunity to become part of their national committee. And generally, in most of the developing countries where the water management is still largely in the hands of the governments, the department which are in charge of the irrigation and water resources form the core of the national committee, and other members are joining through them, and these national committees are represented in ICID, International Executive Council, where they decide about the future course of action that the ICID would have to take, what are the necessary works that are required to be done. So this is a very important part where we need to work on. So this is the structure of ICID and its governance model. At the apex is the International Executive Council. The International Executive Council is formed by the representatives of the national committees. Each of the national committee has a seat in the International Executive Council. International Executive Council directs the management board. The management board comprises of various vice presidents or office bearers of ICID, and this management board determines various agendas that are required to be taken up, various other day-to-day administrative, financial and technical matters that are required the attention of the ICID community, and management board directs a central office which is headed by one of the office bearers, that is the Secretary General at New Delhi. This central office coordinates with various international organizations, UN organizations. There is also a system of direct members, member countries, and also forms various technical working groups and task forces through the advice of International Executive Council. And these technical and working groups and task forces provide the technical inputs to the ICID community. The area of irrigation spreads very wide. There are areas of agricultural water management which are dependent upon purely the rain-fed situations, to the other extreme where the dependence on the rain is minimized and the water is provided through the irrigation systems, and there the fully irrigated areas also come in the picture. The drainage is a very crucial aspect of irrigation. If you do not have efficient drainage, the crop productivity suffers because of the issues like waterlogging, etc. So drainage is an essential part of the ICID network, and that is why it is called the Commission on Irrigation and Drainage. ICID has been evolving from a very early age, and it has been incorporating the areas of engineering. It has also started looking into the social and economic aspects of water management. It has also started looking into the sustainable agriculture and capacity building. And eventually, we are also now incorporating the thoughts about the water security and sustainable rural development. So it starts from a very macro science based and technology based approach, and it also goes into the associated aspects of social, political, and economic areas of water management, which are also relevant from the point of view of agriculture water management. How the cooperation is achieved? Basically, the ICID operates in a voluntary mode of cooperation. We do not operate through any treaty or legal or allocation based modes. So, this allows the participants to pursue their own practice or profession while becoming aware of the knowledge being generated elsewhere in the world. And it also allows the participants to arrive at a mutual understanding of each other's needs and priorities, and thereby encouraging well directed investments and services delivery. A very important aspect of understanding the practices that are happening elsewhere is a very critical component of the agriculture water management practices. We have various modes of cooperation. The prime unit of cooperation is the working groups. We form working groups with the advice of the International Executive Council and on the desire of a set of national committees who are focused on a specific topic. We will be going into those topics just a little while later. These groups work under a highly qualified and a well respected senior water professional who is well versed in the particular area of operation, and provide exchange medium for the related professionals to working towards exchanging the ideas, exchanging their practices, and exchanging their problems. Time to time, these working groups meet, discuss, decide about the outputs that they would like to generate, and then produce the books or the papers which are indicative of the latest status in this particular areas of operation, and also give pointers towards the new entrants who can use this in order to work towards betterment of their own water management practices. Apart from the working groups, time bound task forces are established which are for the specific purpose of studies or strategies. Many times these task forces are then later on converted into the working groups because it is found at a later stage that this work needs to be continued almost for a very long period. These working groups and task forces are provided with a venue where they can physically meet and also interact with the community in general across the world, be they the members of the ICID or be they not be the members of the ICID, but they are the professionals which are involved in the field through the events where for free and wide exchange of ideas and networking takes place. ICID also has a set of journals and publications which are of a very high quality, and they are peer reviewed for knowledge and development research, producing the outcomes and also disseminating those outcomes. ICID also takes up joint collaborative research projects wherein the research institutions are encouraged to work together, share their experiences through various programs. In order to recognize the achievements and provide encouragement to the professionals who are striving towards a betterment of their societies or the sector in general, ICID has instituted awards which are awarded to the path-breaking works and approaches that have taken place in the areas of water saving, in the areas of the historical development of the irrigation, etc. These are the thematic areas which are used by ICID to organize these working groups, which are called basin. Basin represents a macro view of the water resources management, wherein the overall water security is established. On farm, because on farm is the most important aspect of irrigation, where the irrigation practices have to yield the results. Then there are various schemes, and then there is knowledge, where it is looked into how to spread this knowledge, how to manage a large amount of knowledge base that is getting continuously generated and updated. So these are few of the working groups that we would like to show you. In the on-farm, we have got sustainable on-farm irrigation system development. This is a working group which is very crucial, because the irrigation system development forms the key of water management and water economy at the farm level. And then another important issue that is keep on coming now increasingly with the new rapid development and rapid consumption of the available freshwater resources, that is the non-conventional water resources for irrigation. Reuse and recycle has become a very important aspect of the water management, and for that purpose the non-conventional water resources for irrigation, how to manage, what are the ill effects, what are the opportunities, and what are the threats, these are examined at this working groups level. In case of basin, the environment forms a very important aspect. The environment has to be maintained in order to maintain the ecological and eco-services balance, and for that the working group environment works towards that. Another very important environment issue is the climate change, and a special working group looks at the climate change effects on agricultural water management. As you all know, the climate change is here to stay, and we are likely to see more and more of its effects, and for that our agricultural water management will have to adapt towards the new effects that are coming in, new measures will have to be planned. Flood management is another important aspect of the water management area, and flood also in a negative sense affects the water management for the agriculture and agricultural production. So the adaptive flood management group looks into that. Another important aspect that is felt by a very large part of the world, especially the areas in the Middle East, areas in the Central Asia, areas in the Sub-Saharan Africa, and so on, where this water scarcity is a very important issue, and how to manage this scarcity in order to do a sustainable development. This is a working group. There are various states across the world, various countries across the world, which are undergoing socio-economic transformation. Their systems are changing, and under the change of these systems, the agriculture and the water management areas are getting affected. So this working group looks into that. The water, food and energy nexus, as we all know, is a very important aspect of the overall water management, and we need to really provide for these thoughts to be propagated. Then in case of schemes, there are institutional and organization aspect of irrigation and drainage system management. Land drainage, as I said, the land drainage is most important if we have to do efficient water management in irrigated water management. Modernization, revitalization of irrigation schemes, because irrigation schemes run for ages and they need continuous upgradation with the changing requirements. Irrigation development and management. Water saving in irrigated areas, because the water is finite, the demands are ever growing. And the rainwater harvesting. Similarly, in case of the knowledge, we have got the history part, because irrigation has been practiced since ages. Sustainable development of tidal areas, the maintenance of multilingual technical dictionary. This is a very important part, because various countries define the same parameter in a different way. So how these parameters can be related to each other is done through this multilingual technical dictionary, wherein the same term is defined under various languages of the world, under various guidance of the various countries. And then the capacity development. There are also regional working groups so that the regional problems are specially discussed within these regional working groups and the region specific activities are developed in case of each of the region. We are also in the process of establishing a new region, that is one of the Middle Eastern area, and so on. We also have a research collaboration of institutions through a coordinated program of international research program for irrigation and drainage, wherein the research institutions are encouraged to collaborate with each other. The awards that we have instituted, the World Irrigation and Drainage Prize, that is provided to an individual in a triennially who has made exceptional contributions towards the agriculture, water management, irrigation and drainage areas. We have got 4 types of water saving in agriculture awards, that is called WhatsApp awards. And these WhatsApp awards are provided to farmers, young professionals, various other senior professionals who have done work in an area which has considerably saved the water. ICID also has a scheme of recognizing heritage irrigation structures which are more than 100 years old in order to understand how the historical practices of irrigation have evolved and their basis and how those benefits can be derived in the modern day context. The journal is a very important part of the ICID, and this journal represents the state of the art in the irrigation and agricultural water management. So the best paper that is published in the journal is also awarded. We also have a water system heritage. The water has been managed by the communities in various ways, but these practices sometimes are not able to continue under changing socio-economic considerations. Also, these practices need recognition so that these practices can be learnt by other new areas which are coming up in this particular aspect, and for that the Water System Heritage Award has been instituted. And we also recognize the best performing national committee and the best performing bodies. We have the flagship events which are the Congress on Irrigation and Drainage. It is triennial and the next Congress is going to happen very shortly in October 22 at Adelaide, Australia. World Irrigation Forum, where the special issues of irrigation are determined. Regional conferences, the International Drainage Workshop, where we look at how to manage the irrigated agriculture and how to manage the soil fertility through efficient drainage. The micro irrigation is a very important aspect of on-farm water management, and this provides us with a very important agricultural water management efficiency because of the very efficient use of water. So micro irrigation is also looked at, and then we also provide a lot of knowledge support to other events on water management. We have a very large number of partners, international organizations with which we work. We work continuously with them. We have got memoranda of understanding with most of them, and we provide our collaborative efforts to them. We have a knowledge activity in which we have got various issues that we are taking up, like we are also taking up a register of world irrigation schemes so that we know that what kind of irrigation efforts are being made. We have got the journal and also various other aspects of knowledge dissemination through special publications. Some of the capacity development activities involve the young professionals. We have the more than 700 young professionals group is established at the ICID. We train them during our keynote events, and we also provide with online courses, and we provide with a very large amount of webinars, and these webinars are a very key aspect of knowledge dissemination and generating interest, especially among the world community about the new ideas. And for that we have been very actively pursuing the webinar series, and of late during the COVID era we have been able to put in a large amount of webinars by which we have been able to keep the community alive through these 2 difficult years. So this is in a nutshell the system and the areas of work for ICID. I would encourage that you have the opportunity to become a member of the ICID. If you are able to organize a group at the national level, then you can organize on a much wider format. But then if you do not have that opportunity, you also have the opportunity of becoming a direct member, either as an individual or as an institution, and thereby participate in the activities of ICID. Thank you very much for listening to the presentation, and I wish that we will have more and more interaction with you from ICID.